What's up, SNA Assassinators? Super Ninja Austin back here with another video a minute later. And we're going to be talking about AEW show that comes on Friday Night SmackDown. Just like a minute after Friday Night SmackDown goes off the air. And it was indeed AEW Rampage. And yeah, nothing out of the ordinary, just a mediocre episode, and I mean that in a good way. Nothing too exciting, but not so boring either, just in the middle. But actually, it seemed like an AEW Collision show, like if it was on an hour rather than being 2 hours. That's my opinion. It seems like it's like a rather than being the post show, it's like a random episode of AEW Collision in the form of AEW Rampage. If that makes sense, of course, but we're gonna get into it right now. It was the Collaboration taking on the Dark Order, which started off with Orange Cassidy and I believe Alex Reynolds. I believe. Or was it Orange Cassidy and yeah, I think or no, it was Mark Briscoe and Alex Reynolds. This is where he's like I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat the sense out of you, boy. And then this is where Alex Reynolds like, oh yeah, like I like to see you do it. And this is where he's actually like before he did, maybe I should slap the straight talking to you. Just where he slapped him right in his face. This is where he's like actually start talking straight. This is where he's like, what did. Like, well, what you got in response? Is where it's like, well, what I got in response, like I'm gonna show you that. This is where Alex Reynolds like, oh yeah, like I like to see what you have to offer. This is where Mark Briscoe goes like, okay, with pleasure. He had some knife edge shot when he tried to Irish whip the one half of the former one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion and sent him right to the right side, but he gets knife edge shot by the current Ring of Honor Champion. This is where he tags in Orange Cassidy. That's where they go for a double suplex right on to Alex Reynolds, like boom, and superplex him right in the back. That's where Orange Cassidy then started doing the flexible muscles, like flexing, while Mark Briscoe does his own version of it with his right arm. That's where Orange Cassidy tried to go over me. Well, he barely got like a 1.1 count. That's where Orange Cassidy's like, oh, like I figured that was going to happen. That's where I tried to go over suplex, but this is where we got. That's where we got Alex Reynolds then do a wrist slide, hit a right hook. This is where then grab onto the rope, sling it forward and back, and this is where he boots him right into the face. This is where then we got him tagging in what's his name, Evil Uno, which we got John Silver came in because it was like a three-man's job of a double team there or triple team that they were planning on doing. Which we got Alex Reynolds and John Silver did a double hip toss, with them carrying Orange Cassidy like a child while Evil Uno then was in the middle. After seeing them then a flat-lining backflip his toss by stomping the Orange Cassidy's hands, trying to make sure they come off his limbs permanently. And this is where they did a triple drop kick right into the face onto the fruit. And then this is where he did a forearm right into his teammates Kyle O'Reilly and Mark Briscoe. This is where they knock him right over into the corner. This is where Evil Uno's like, get him right up. And then this is where then we got them that's where they did. So this is where we got Alex Reynolds and on one side, while what's his name, Evil Uno was on the other side of Orange Cassidy, while John Silver went right to the top corner rope. That's where he jumped right on top, and then they start doing their flexible muscle of Dark Order pose because they're the remaining members, only just the three of them now. That's where we got. John Silver body slams Orange Cassidy. This is where then he stared at his teammate. This is where then what's his name? John Silver's like, yeah, like I'm back on television, baby. And I was like, yeah, this has been way past due. Even though we saw you this past Wednesday on Dynamite, like I give kudos to Anthony Khan for showing his undercard talent, like that used to be right up in the upper mid card, like you need letting everybody know we haven't forgot about them, even though it may seem like it, but not to worry about that anymore. We're probably going to be seeing more in them in the foreseeable future, at least on Rampage shows. Like let's hope that it will actually be like more often. Like you got on cat, but anyway, yeah, it got into a wheelbarrow roll up. That's where he tried to. That's where then he flips right. That's where what's his name? The referee that was trying to go for a count, but this is where we got John Silver pushing him right to the corner. That's where he tags in Kyle O'Reilly, with him hitting some swift kicks right to the left and right until like once he was in his right leg for the second time. This is where he got caught by John Silver. He gets slide kick right into the leg by Kyle. That's where he tried to nail a right hand, but Kyle O'Reilly spins around, smartly dodging John Silver. He actually hits what's his name, Alex Reynolds in the face. That's where he was like, no, I just hit my own dude. This is where we got Evil Uno then try to stop Kyle O'Reilly from making a sneakily escape. He's like, oh no, you don't. This is where we got John Silver praising Evil Uno for that. This is where he's like, okay, like you're all mine now. You 10-year-old molded fruit, and this where they try to slap him right in the chest, but this is where Orange Cassidy move out of the way. He got hit in the chest instead. Evil Uno did. I'm afraid that he hit his own teammate instead. Which Gunther put him in the third place spot. Not to mention where O'Reilly Irons went right to the upper left side, hit the flying forearm, tags in Orange Cassidy, which he was right in the upper left side, hits a hands-free crossbody along with an elbow drop. Here's where Orange Cassidy went right into near Reynolds, right into the bottom left side corner, which I believe he made a huge mistake of doing so, because it's where we got Alex Reynolds grabbing on by the arms. It's where then we got John Silver's like, hold him tighter, like don't make the same mistakes on what you did with Kyle O'Reilly. Like I want you to fully grab onto his arms, like just grab him. That's where he did. So that's where he tried to hit a slap right on the Orange Cassidy. He was successful this time. Well, I must have made a mistake because he did successfully. He got double cursed again, like accidentally hitting Alex Reynolds, but this time with Orange Cassidy. They were trying to double team, but their plan got backfired. That's where we got what's his name? Evil Uno trying to grab on the Orange Cassidy. This is where he tried to chop, but he did the same. This is where That's where then Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds are getting tired of him getting chopped, and still hitting them anyways, even though he actually did. They were like, what the hell was that all about? As they started pushing each other. This is where it's like we are getting sick and tired of getting chopped. You're the leader. You should know better than we do. That's where then what's his name? John Silver was like, yeah, maybe you're right, guys. Like maybe I should let you guys maybe you're right. Like I'm like it's unexcusable for me of making these mistakes. Even though I'm not actually a leader, I'm almost close to being one. And I should know better right now. Instead of just getting attacked by these guys. He was like, you know what, how about you guys? And this is where he purposely pushes right to the upper left side. Like, why don't you stop Briscoe from flying off the top rope? But it was too late because he hit a crossbody on these guys. This is where then he hits a karate chop uppercut right onto John Silver, with him trying to go back and hit a right hand. But this is where Mark Briscoe ducks out of the way, hits some knife fist chop repeatedly, and then some forearm strikes right to the face. I was like, rah. Like, you don't know about this Kung Fu, son. And this is where we got Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy took out Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds. This is where we got Orange Cassidy hit the forearm strike, while Kyle O'Reilly hit the elbow strike. And this is where then we got Mark Briscoe then going for a clothesline right onto upper left side. And we Kyle O'Reilly hit a kitchen sink up. What's that? Hip toss when Orange Cassidy hits a middle drop kick right into the face onto the screw slam. This is where he twists his leg. This is where he needs him right to Kyle O'Reilly right back in the head. This is where then he got sent right into the corner. This is where then we got what's his name? John Silver then try to the Irish whip Orange Cassidy to the bottom corner, try to spin him around. Orange Cassidy tried to go for a DDT, but Orange Cassidy stopped him. But John Silver made a humongous mistake in being the 187th guy to make this same pattern mistake with Orange Cassidy trying to go for that surfboard DDT, but this is where he got stopped right in the middle of it, and then he allows his opponent to try to go for suplex, which he turned to a stunt dog millionaire like he did tonight. John Silver tried to go for a clothesline onto Orange Cassidy, but he hit the surfboard like maneuver. But this is where what's his name didn't fall for the trick, but he made a huge, humongous mistake, Evil Uno, by tossing him right into John Silver, which he spun around and hit a DDT to him instead, and then sent him right to the side. That's where the Orange Cat tried to go for Orange Punch, but that's where then we got that's where then he hits his version of what's his name, Tyler Bates maneuver, the stop sign right hand, right knuckle strike. When they're like stop, when Orange Cassidy was about to get ready to hit this finisher, which is the Orange Punch. That's the same move that he'll never hit me with, even if I was wearing the color orange. But anyways, it's where we got. Here's where he stopped him. He hit him with a big right knuckle strike that made him bounce right to the right side. He hits the end of days. Or the Sundown Evil, or Sunday, the Sunday Evil, whatever it's called, is where we got Mark Briscoe's like you just took out my friend, like I'm gonna have to take out you, and this is where then he go for a wrist lock, kick him right in the gut, hits that upper chop, and this is where he tried to go the front face lock, but this is where he got stopped by Evil Uno himself. This is where Mark Briscoe had to fight back by kicking him in the gut like about a couple of times, try to go for a clothesline. But this is where we got Evil Uno trying to go for a German suplex. But this is where we got Mark Briscoe hits an insecurity right onto him. This is where we got Alex Reynolds then trying to go for a wrist lock, turn into a discus forearm right to the face of Mark Briscoe. But Mark Briscoe then fall right back and hits a bouncing right off the bottom corner ropes, hit a clothesline from Hale. And this is where Mark Briscoe fell down on the ground as well, like with him and John Silver still in the match. Is where we got him going at. Is where we got. And this is where then he sent him right to the bottom corner rope. This is where he goes for a baseball sliding kick right into the face on the John Silver. This is where then he went right and seen right to the bottom corner side where Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds was at. But this is where either Kyle O'Reilly or Orange Cassidy tossed the steel chair. He was like, oh, this is going to come in handy. And then this is where then the referee was like I wouldn't be using that for you. Like, and he's like, relax, ref. Like, I'm not going to be swinging it on nobody. Like, I just needed it as a stepping stool. And then the referee's like, oh. And then, he started feeling stupid. But this is where he stepped right in the stepping stool, hit a cannonball right onto everybody. This is where Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly threw Alex Reynolds right back in the ring, where Kyle O'Reilly then hits that stomp right in the back of the head, and then the discus forearm. Orange Cassidy hits the Orange Punch, which that's the move that he still cannot hit me with. This is where the Mark Briscoe then, and let's see, goes for this double underhook butterfly pile driver maneuver, like the J Driller, that's what it's called. This is where he tried to go for a pin. 1, 2, 3. Winner of his match, Kyle O'Reilly. What's his name? Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy, the conglomeration. And this is where we got Lexi Nair was in the backstage interview with the Undisputed Kingdom, and because they asked to speak to the World Tag Team Champions, which it was Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes that they went face to face with him. This is where then the Undisputed Kingdom was like, welcome, guys. And then this is where it's like, yeah, it's wonderful that we're not in Texas and you still show up, Sammy. This is where Sammy's like, yeah, the last time we split off, it was at Wembley Stadium at London. We beat y'all's asses there. Like, a little bit remind. And this is where then Matt Taven's like, yeah, I remember that feeling though, like even though I don't remember much of the matches where Mike Bennett then confirmed by agreeing, and he was like, and he added saying and he was like, yeah, no, I cannot help but notice like that your friend Kevin Von Erich always keep sticking his nose where it don't belong, like in all of our matches, like in all of Tekken of interfere, like hitting him with that stupid iron claw that he came up with, like, and I'm surprised like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders showed up in the interview, and I believe that. I'm surprised I didn't showed up and feared you guys, including you, Sammy. And I was wondering who he was referring to, which I know one of those cheerleaders in particular, which I'm not going to get into at that time. But it's where we got. But that's where the Matt Taven was like, yeah, like I just can't stand you seeing you. This is where Matt Taven continues saying, like, I cannot stand you holding on to stuff, including you, Sammy. Like you're looking like Jim Carrey, like. He was like playing in that role. Like, what's that name of? He asked, what's his name? Mike Bennett, who was. And he's like, it was Matthew Ipkitz, and He's like, yeah, Michael Elite Ipkiss. And he's like, and then and you, Dustin Rhodes, like coming up with the same what's that insults like onto his face paint. He's like, I wonder why you paint yourself in the face. I would be totally embarrassed, myself if I was you, considering on the way I act, as of late, and actually, how about we do it the one way, and we all know how, let's have a dream match with the fight without an army, only just the two of us, and then this where then. He's like the honor, the rules are failing, and then that's where we got Dustin Rhodes slapped him across the because he got ticked off and annoyed of him talking, he wouldn't stop blabbering his mouth. This is where Sammy Guevara's like, okay, calm down, and hey, look at me, this is Dustin Rhodes, show some damn respect, he's a living legend, you need to put you need to put some respect in his name because he sure as hell earned it. He said straight to the face to Matt Damon. He's like, and unlike you two, and this is where. And that's where then, Dustin Rhodes was like, "Don't you ever mention my family ever again." It kind of gives me some flashbacks, but in the future rather than the past, about what I'm going to be doing. If I did the Christian Cage, if you know anything about my business. But anyways, this is where we got and this is where then he called Matt Taven a tip turd SOB right onto Matt Taven. He's like, I've been doing this for 36 long, hard years, boy. I have done nothing but be honorable, grip and tear claw my way to the sport, falling down 1,000 times, and then fell in my ass off, but still getting right back up, and getting in your face right now. You understand me? You want another shot at this in your home state, in Springfield, Massachusetts next week, and it's not any match, Matt Taven, it's a bunkhouse brawl match. I am the bunkhouse, and you got any ball, we will show both of you because I'm gonna rip your freaking eyeballs out in a very pissed off manner with him saying that. But the fans are cheering yay! And then I couldn't help but notice or get over what them making that reference about Sammy Guevara, which I'm not sure if I should get into about the cheerleading spot. Them saying we're surprised even scared off the cheerleaders, which one of them was dressed like one, which I'm not gonna get into right now. But anyway, this is where we got. This is where we got the Brick House coming out. What's her name? Camille. She had a match against Robin Renegade, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder why they booked this match. Is there some kind of future plans with Robin Renegade having associations with a member from the Monet crew or not the Monet crew, the Monet corporation, which I'm still thinking right now, but it's just a fantasy theory, not just nothing that's confirmed or anything that's been that's been what's that called? That's been announced. Yeah, that's where we got. That's where then we got, as soon as the match starts is where we got what's the name, Robin Renegade immediately got in, and I was like they may be opponents for now, but you never know what could happen in the future if the CEO herself is watching this at home, or wherever she's at. But this is where we got Camille, the spine busters, what's her name, Robin Renegade, right to the upper right side, start whacking her with right hands, first in the gut, then in the forearm, right to the face. That's where she started doing that about 5 times, and that's where the referee's like, all right, 1, 2, 3. When she was stomping on her guts, this is where she was like, too bad she was like, too bad I have to fight you because I actually like you, Robin. And I hope that you do have your moment. You and your sister have y'all's moment respectively in AEW. And that's where then. But she was like, unfortunately, that day is not today. This is where she wink at her. I wonder what was the reason why for doing that. This is where then she bow her head, but she made a huge mistake because she did it way before right onto the in the middle of the ring. This is where she kicks her right into the head, Robin Renegade. But once she runs to the left side, but Camille bam her with a big clothesline that I've ever seen any woman do in professional wrestling. That's where then we got Camille then pick her up right into a shoulder, in the shoulder power slam position. But Robin moved out of the way and dodged out of the way. That's where she pushes Camille right to the upper right side. That's where then she hits a forearm right to the face. That's where then she started hitting forearms right in. until like she tried to Irish whip him to the left side, but Camille countered through her instead. This is where she tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where she ducks you into the right side. This is where we got Robin go for a crossbody, but this is where we got Robin then gets turned. This is where she turned from getting the fall away to go for a bear hug right onto the one half of the twin sisters of AEW, I guess you could say. But this is where then she started hitting some right hands like drum right to the back, and then this is where then we got her going for a suplex. That's where she got the knees up. That's where then Camille was like okay, yeah, like this. Like, okay, I did exactly what I needed to do other than hit my finisher, but let me be a little bit of a spoiler here. Let's say she does, but not just yet. But she started continuing to toy with one half of the Renegade Sisters by bear hugging her and then slamming her like into a spine buster position right into the top corner of the barricade. This is where she walked around, started taunting with her. This is where she was like, who, which one of you suckers are a fan of her? And this is where they're like, we do, and that's where then she's like, oh yeah, that's too bad. Like as much as I don't really hate this gal, like, but I gotta punish her to make a statement that you'd never mess with the Brick House or the CEO herself or whatever Camille said, like to the fans. Is where she started shouting. She was like, "Isn't that right, Robin?" And then this is where Robin's like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." Like, and this where then Camille was like that's what I thought. This where then she throws her right back in the ring. This where then the Brick House then got back in the ring. This where then she started going for tackles like that's where she but this is where we got this is where we got Camille then went right up put with a Robin Renegade right off the top rope, and then this is where then we got her going up for a suplex, but this is where then we got but this is where Robin Renegade started counter out of the Brick House, headbutts her right off the top rope, try to go for a crossbody, which she managed to successfully hit. I thought she would have did this maneuver, but fortunately she did. But unfortunately, she only got a kick out at 1.1 or one even, if not. That's where then we got what's her name? Camille then trying to go for a splash, but she gets elbow strike right to the face. This is where then we got Robin that went up right and tried to jump right on top of her back, which is probably the smartest move that she ever did in this match. Like only that she didn't watch her back because Camille used that as her advantage, hit her right into her back into the turnbuckles. This is where then we got Camille then starts spinning around. Power slammed her back first. I was like, oh my God, ouch. I was like, if that alone, like that would put her away for sure. And then she started looking like more of a female version of Braun Strowman. Like you should mess with her or you're gonna get her hands. but she's more steel dangerous than Braun is, even though I'm not saying that Braun's nowhere near the definition of dangerous, but not definition, definition, death with an F. But anyway, definition of dangerous. But I'm saying that she looks like double times is powerfully dangerous. If I'm being quite honest, of course. But this is where then we got. This is where we got the CEO's bodyguard then grab onto the Camille. This is where she put her right up on her shoulder, and then hit her with this Dominators, where she goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3, winner of this match, the Brick House Camille. And I was wondering, like what Matt Menard was wondering, like where the heck is the CEO Mercedes Moné at? Like normally, like when the Brick House Camille is in the match, like she's normally in ringside. But it seemed like she took the day off, which that's what what's his name? Excalibur? Yeah, Excalibur pointed out that she must have been had a day off, which I think that was the case here, or else she would have been there, or even be wrestling in New Japan's, like going over maybe to Japan and wrestle there, because considering the fact that she's the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, along being the TBS Championship, so that could explain that's the other reason. But I don't think that's the reason why, though. Just saying, like, yeah, just throwing stuff out there, what could be the possibilities, like, but or else we would have heard it from AEW if that was the case, though. But I don't think that's gonna be the case until like maybe, if not next month, maybe at the end of the month. Like, I don't know, like, but yeah, let me know down in the comments down below about that. But yeah, but I gotta say that I'd say like she did deserve a day off though. Like, and like not all wrestlers can do it all. Not every single wrestler can show up on the same show at the same time, and yeah, it's good to see wrestlers taking some time off because they putting their lives and bodies on the line, like every week after week after week. Like what if it's like on the weekly shows or even on the pay-per-view premium live event, which that's like every single month though, but still like that's like they're doing some sacrifice. Like even though that's a profession that they want to do, like it's a dream job that they want to do. Like, but at the same time, it's still a job, and you have to show up when you need it. But yeah, but it's nice to see that the wrestlers get the day off. But let me know in the comment section right down below, and give me a reason why they had Camille versus Robin Renegade. Do you think this was the test from the CEO herself? Or do you think Tony Khan just booked this like just to do like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the fans on what's to come in the future of these women? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But I thought I might point that out. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about yeah. It was none other than the Undisputed Kingdom with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Like was accompanying Roderick Strong in the ring because he had Anthony Davis. Not the Anthony Davis. I mean Anthony Henry. Like where did Davis even came from? Anthony Henry of the Workhorsemen. Like without his friend JD Drake was there with him, but rather than another ally that he has in the Workhorsemen. No, it wasn't Anthony Henry. It was Beef of the Workhorsemen. Like he came out and he was getting ready to fight Roderick Strong, even though he did not win against the former NXT North American champion. Like he still put on one heck of a match. And some of y'all be saying like, why you're bringing up from his time in WWE? Like, well, like I'm trying to come up with something that's different, like not just refer him as the international champion, of course. Even though he was the international champion at one stint, but now he's not. All thanks to Will Ospreay was the one that thrown him in his first run with the champ. This is where we got it started with them spinning around, typical wrestling match with Beef trying to go for a back to belly maneuver, but Roderick Strong counter, go for a wrist lock and escape, and then hits a elbow strike with Roderick Strong. See, I escape out of him. Yeah, that's where half the fans were cheering him on because that's probably one of their favorite wrestlers. I was like, he used to be one of my favorite wrestlers when he was on that other show's developmental brand, along with his friend Adam Cole, baby, and Kyle O'Reilly, and not to mention Bobby Fish, which he's now on Major League Wrestling. But anyway, this is where we got Roderick Strong's like, okay, like I'm back doing what I do best. This is where we got the This is where we got Beef to start hitting some right hands right into the face onto Roderick Strong. This is where he did I believe about 5 times until he tried to Irish whip him to the left side. This is where Roderick Strong countered through him instead on the left. This is where he made a big mistake by bowing his head before he was coming his way. This is where we got Beef and go for a cartwheel, hit a drop kick on the Roderick Strong. This is where he sent him right to the bottom corner side. This is where we got Beef like, yeah, let's get this going now. Like, let's get it cooking. This is where Roderick Strong's like, oh, yeah, it will be cooking in here with me doing the honors. This is where he needs strike him right in the midsection. This is where then he goes for a suplex. This is where then he goes hits. That's where then Roderick Strong just sent him right to the corner in the bottom right side with Matt Taven hold on to him. This referee's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. Like, if you touch him ever again, like, you're going to be DQ'd. Like, comprendo? That's where he was like, that was very prejudiced. That's what Matt Taven like. That was pretty prejudiced. Like, why you think that? Why you assume that I speak Spanish like in a very hilarious way? Well, I'm not sure if any of this happens, but I'm just making it on my version onto that note. But this is where then we got. But yeah, this is where then we got Roderick Strong bringing him back to the ring. But this is where we got Beef got back on his feet, and then not only that, but he was making a comeback. He even had a single underhook superplex and sent Roderick Strong right to the upper left side. And that's where there's like, who wants me to see hit this devastating close on onto the leader of Undisputed Kingdom? And everybody's like, we did. And he closed on him immediately. And he went from the upper right corner to the bottom left corner, like in the diagonal way, try to go for a clothesline, follow that up with a running bulldog. Like if he was his version of a man that formerly used to wrestle onto this company until he got into with the man that loved crying people rivers. If you haven't know who I'm referring to. But anyway, this is where we got him trying to go for a pin, but Roderick Strong kick out immediately at 2 even. This is where it's like, oh, come on. This is where then Mike Bennett was like, I'm liking what I'm seeing with this guy. Like, he's doing a perfect impression. Like, maybe one day he could join the Undisputed Kingdom, but yet so far he couldn't put away our leader. And that's where they start hitting some knife-edge chops on the Roderick Strong. But that's where he hit the stroking right hand to the face. That's where then he hit another chop. That's where then he was like, oh, like, I got this slugger right here. And he did by slugging him right to the left side of the left jaw. That's where then the Irish whip Roderick Strong in the upper left, but this is where we got. This is where Roderick Strong's like, oh no, you don't. I gotta send you into this corner. This is where he flipped and cartwheels right into the top corner. This is where Roderick Strong tried to close on him, but this is where fans chanted B when he hit him with a right hand to the left jaw. This is where we got what's his name? This is where we got Beef and when brought on the top rope, but Roderick Strong then got brought on the top rope. This is where Roderick Strong then whip him up in the air, goes for a suplex right onto Beef. This is where Roderick Strong then rolled like a cartwheelish tumbleweed. But this is where we got this is where the Beef then got the shoulder up at 2.7. This is where Roderick Strong's like, this cannot be happening. This is where Mike Bennett and Matt Taven was ticked off in the corner. He was like, come on, like that should have been a 3. This is where we got Roderick Strong trying to go for what's that, like a back to belly rolling? What's that wheelbarrow roll up by pushing Beef right into the bottom corner? This is where Beef was like, nah, like how about you go in the front and I'll do the wheelbarrow roll up? And this is where like he outsmarted him, but Roderick Strong was like, okay, that's fine. And he's like, wait a minute, like I take it back. And this is where then Beef was like too late, and this is where he tried to go over the wrong foot, but Roderick Strong managed to hang on to the rope. This is where he hits a tackle, a belly tackle right on the Roderick Strong, get him back first, and then he went right into the right into this ribs, right into the bottom corner. This is where we got the Undisputed Kingdom's Matt Taven and Mike Bennett mugged poor Anthony Henry by attacking him from behind, sending him right into the right corner of Barry's tombstone. This is where he crossbodies Roderick Strong's back, but he made a big mistake of going in the ringside area because as soon as Roderick Strong got out of the ropes in the middle of the ring, that's where the referee took a second to look at him to see if he doesn't need no medical attention. But that's where the downfall begins for the workhorsemen with Beef let this distraction of the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom get the better of him, with them continuing to attack Anthony Henry. And it was very helpful that Beef came in for the aid of his teammate, but it did cost him the match, because when this was happening, we got Beef to hit a double clothesline on the guy, like if he's his own version of Otis. That's where he's like, and stay down and keep. And know your role, and he said that by shouting right at both Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. This is where he got back in the ring. This is where Roderick Strong took an advantage of the moment, knee striking him right into the face, go for the pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, Roddy Strong. And I would have to give this the third place spot. This was really good. And maybe I should give they'll be tying Robin Renegade versus Camille, which I think that was pretty interesting, even though it was kind of a squash match in its own rights. But at the same time, Robin Renegade also remind her that she's not a easy target, and she's nothing to be thinking that you're going to squash in less than 5 seconds. And that's what Beef did here with Roddy Strong as well, which I'll give him credit. And I hope he does make more appearances, and maybe he can someday in the next year or two earn himself in any title shot at any of the AEW championship, even if it's in the mid card, like the Continental or the International or TNT championships. But this is where we got But this is where we got Roderick Strong that got lifted by his Undisputed Boys, like with them spinning them around, saying like this is our future AEW champion, and this is where they was like, yeah, that's right, boys, you right, and this is where we got. But this is where we got the righteousness when they came in. This is where they said like there's always a place in the dark, like even in the lightest place, like it's there, like waiting for you. And this is where Dutchton started laughing, like but Vincent was like, yeah, there's a light in AEW. This is where they were in the background, looking like they were at some kind of wedding ceremony. Like if they're invited as the groomsmen or the best men, I guess you could say. Or this is where Vincent then continues but as for Vincent and Dutch here, like we're that dingling that candle that's right in the corner of a dark house, like. And he's like, this may sound crazy to you, like, and this may sound maybe crazy to all of you, to be exact. But the truth is, boys and girls, like we all here because we're not all there. Like he's like, you understand what we're saying, man? Like, and this is where then he sat down, like. And that's where then Dutch then took off his glasses. That's where then he gave a huge. He was like, "So House of Black," and he started chuckling. And I was like, I thought that y'all were the House of Black, like on the fact that y'all sound like them, like not trying to sound very ignorant for saying that. But next up, we got Soraya and Harley Cameron in tag team action, but against these enhancement gals. But yeah, they just immediately just squashed him with Soraya was continuing one of them. Like this is where the referee's like, all right, stop it. Like you think you're already down. This is where it's like 1, 2, 3. He's like, okay, I'm off of her. And this girl kind of reminded me like a short Willow the Pillow with her fluffy pillow hair, I guess you could say, or fluffy pillow stuff. I guess you could say stuff and fluffs. But this is where we got Soraya and Irish whips her right into the corner. This is where this is where then she picks her right back up, sends her right back in the ring. This is where she tags in Harley Cameron in her corner in the upper right. Harley Cameron started hitting some stomps right onto her midsection. But this is where when she got her out of the corner, this is where she tried to go for like a waist slam. But this is where she gets countered by this girl. This is where she then counters and flips her over into a wheelbarrow position. That's where then Allison Kay then gets tagged in. This is where she goes for a closeout, like if she's her version of Natalia Neidhart. This is where she went for a flapjack around the Soraya when she was running to try to close on her in the way, but just where she flapjacks her. She kicks Harley Cameron right in the midsection. This is where then she got her right into a dominator, but this is where then she. But this is where then we got Soraya then forearm strikes her teammate with the one that looked like Willow the Pillow. This is where she sends her right to the top corner. This is where Harley Cameron hits the face plant right onto Allison Cade. This is where then we got what's her name? What's her name? Harvey Cameron then tagged in Soraya. This is where she gets tagged in. She hits the shining wizard kick, knee strike. This is where then she try to go for a pin. But this is where the referee was like yo, no, like Harvey, you can't go for the pin. Like the tag was made. Like your teammate Soraya. This is where Soraya's like, don't worry, hun. Like I'll go for the pin. This is where they got the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match, Soraya and Harley Cameron. This is where they got chased after by what's the name? Jamie Hayter, which with her just knee striking Harvey Cameron that was still in the ring, with Soraya running out in the audience, and then and Jamie Hayter continuing to be like a certain woman that calls herself the man, and I wonder who that may be, considering she had some very bright orange hair, just more orange than my accessories that I'm wearing right now. like if she just squeezed some. Like if she squeezed some pulpy orange juice right on her head, for coloring onto her hair. But let's move on to the next slide. But let me know in the comments down below when we're gonna finally see Soraya potentially have her match against what's her name? Jamie Hayter. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But let's continue to talk about more action on tonight's AEW Rampage, which ended with Konosuke Takeshita taking on Action Andretti, I believe. And this match was great. Definitely getting the match of the night award. Nothing too special, but it was something that you probably want to watch rather than being something boring or something horrendous. Which this was everything but that, like those two things that I just mentioned. And this is where we got Top Flight that came out, like Dante and Darius Martin, and what's her name, Layla Gray, I believe. This is where they were there. No, I don't think Top Flight was out there. It was Leo Rush and Leo Rush and Layla Gray. That's who it was that was ringside with Action Andretti. With Action, that's where the action was like, okay, want to do the first move or should I to catch? That's where it's like it probably don't matter. Like made a better man get it. This is where they went for a grapple like an even handed. So like this where then we got Matt Menard was a wrestling enthusiast on this match. He was like, let's get through this one. Like, yeah, like let's get the action started with him with this very excited voice. This is where then we got Takeshita was kind of winning this grappling battle, like with him pushing him right to the left corner side. Is where we got. This is where then we got. That's where then Action and Dre's like, okay, you got me, but this is where then that's where then Konosuke Takeshita go, oh, you really giving up that easily? This is where he's like, oh, what a shame. And this is where he's like, I'm not giving up easily. Like, I'm just letting you win this battle because you're not going to be winning the war of this match. This is where he pushed him right into his face. This is where he tried to go for a half Nelson suplex. But this is where we got Konosuke Takeshita to try to go for a German suplex, but he ends up getting arm tracked by Action Andretti. And this is where he gets wrist locked. It's where he gets shot right into the chest. I believe he was the second place. It was be at the ambulance with him going for an arm drag springboard right onto the left side. This is where we got Action Andretti going for the left side. This is where he tried to go for a running attack move, but he gets flipped right over by Takeshita. But this is where Takeshita gets head scissors once Action Andretti went right to the left side. This is where he followed that up with a drop kick right onto the left side. This is where he sent him right into the left, right into the left on the ringside area. This is where Action Andretti looked like about to go for a springboard crossbody, but it's where he landed right onto the right onto the left corner apron, saying "psych" to the Alpha. This is where he tried to super kick him, but this is where he grabbed on to the leg. That's where he tripped him over, hits him face first right onto the apron. This is where then he picks up the man that's all about the action, like hit him back first, right onto the upper left side, like of the symbol steel steps. That's where he was like, you may be fast, but not faster than the Alpha, because the Alpha is always faster. And that's where the fans are, well, they're like, and they were chanting, take a sugar honey iced tea, which I was dying with laughter. Well, I'm not sure if they actually said that, but they were chanting for action. This is where he's like, oh, like you want to see more of your friend Action in action. This is where then he's like, okay, like here's one thing. There's one there's one here's one thing that you should see on this tonight's action. This is where he's like, another lesson is to hit your opponent right back first into Simba. This is where then we got Konosuke Takeshita then. And then threw Action Andretti right back in the ring. This is where then we got what's his name? Action Andretti got brought back in the ring. This is where then we got him get hit with an elbow right into the face. This is where then we got him then hit a knife edge chop to follow that up with, like of hitting more red hot. This is where then Tony Schiavone made a joke about it, like it's hard that chop is more harder than your fine, like which I believe he was talking to what's his name, Matt Menard, because he must have been fined by the Young Bucks, which is our EVPs. Well, they're definitely not my EVPs because they're associating with that abomination you call a champion that's currently holding the Continental Championship, which I'm not going to get into too much of that. Like the only thing good about, the number one thing that was good about tonight's AEW Rampage, along with it being decent and having so much very interesting matches, is that they did not have I'm not sure if I should say that. I should just say it's just last name Okada, which I'm not sure why I even mentioned it in the first place. But anyway, this is where we got Konosuke then went right up on the top rope. But this is where we got action and Trey start hitting some upper hooks right into the midsection of Takeshita. Then try to follow up with a headbutt, but this is where he gets raked in the eyes by the Alpha. This is where Aubrey was like, all right, enough with the raking. Like, just get to the point and just suplex him already. And this is where he was like, with pleasure, my lady. And this is where then Aubrey started looking at him in disgust, like, ew, like I'm not your lady. This is where then she was like, anyways, like, I'm just going to count. But this is where we got Takeshita going for a pin, but this is where he only got a 2.7 count. This is where Don Callis like, I'm impressed right now what you're doing, Takeshita. And I was like, I have to agree on that when he's doing a very fantastic job. Even though I'm not a fan of either of these guys, like, but I gotta give credit when it's due. Like with him, like they know all about like what moves to hit in that particular time. But this is where we got him to start choking out Accident Andretti. Well, not completely out. Like with him hold with him wrapping around his arms or trying to suffocate him to death. This is where then he got him in some kind of a dragon sleeper lock. This is where, but actually, Andretti somehow flip it right off, send him right to the left side, hit a suicide senton right onto Konosuke. This is where I believe he then hits a rolling flip of a senton, like once again, like if he is Britney Spears, but not only that, but he was double lucky of hitting a double whammy, even though that's not exactly his signature nor his finisher. But still, it occurs like to the special moves like that. But that's where then we got Action and Andretti, then went right up on the top. Went right on the top rope, like right into the left side. Try to go for three or 450. But it's where Konosuke Takeshita to try to go for a running attack move. That's where he super kicks him in the knee and then into the face. That's where we try to go for a roundhouse kick right onto the attic of Konosuke Takeshita's head. But this is where he dodged out of the way. He caught him right from behind, hit a German suplex. This is where then we got the Alpha, then went to the right side. Hits a very devastating clothesline. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but it's where Andretti managed to kick out at 2.2. That's where then Layla Gray was like, okay, still in the match, like that's all that matters. And she was like, yeah, like there's nothing that they can do about it. This is where Don Callis is like, oh yes, we will find a way to do something about this. And my man Takeshita got it right in the bag. This is where then Takeshita's like, yeah, you know I do, Don. And then this is where he's like for the family sake of yours. And then this is where then Takeshita's like, all right, finish him. And then this is where he did it by sliding his arms. That's where we got Takeshita then pick up action. That's where he put him up right into like a crucifix slam. But this is where he then started hitting some punches right to the face onto the powerbomb of Konosuke. Is where we got what's his name? This is where we got what's his name? Konosuke Takeshita trying to go for a powerbomb, but this is where we got what's his name? Action Andretti went for a Hurricane Rana, wrap his arms around the legs of Takeshita. This is where he only got a 2.3. This is where he tried to go for a shooting star press. This is where we got Konosuke to move out of the way, try to roll him up with the most devastating move in all the professional wrestling. This is where he gets knee strike right to the face by Action Andretti. Once he got back up, he tried to go for a shooting star press then, but he failed for a second time. He was kind of cursed right here, double cursed to be exact. And he turned to triple curse because he still moved like with Takeshita keep avoiding for like, and this was his third straight time doing that. And I was like, hopefully he can bounce back from it. Like in a grand slam luck of charm. This is where then we got Konosuke, the Action Andretti was hanging on to the right side, or upper right side actually. That's where he hits a middle drop kick, but nothing was not bringing down the Alpha. This is where he's too slow, little boy. Like, you still got a lot left to learn. Like, just because you got shocking wins with the likes of Chris Jericho doesn't mean you're ready for the big leagues like me. And then this is where Action Andretti's like, oh, we'll see about that. This is where springboard flips right to the left side, but this is where he gets hit. This is where we got Konosuke Takeshita then hits the Blue Thunder Bomb, and that's why I was thinking like maybe he was arguing with Simon Miller earlier, or maybe this past Wednesday, considering this was pre-taped like right after AEW Dynamite, and then this like with him, but Simon's like I'm warning you, like that's not gonna work, like it barely works in Saudi Arabia, and this is where then Konosuke Takeshita's like don't tell me what to do, like you bald piece of sugar honey iced tea. Like the only bald person that tells me what to do is my father, Don Callis, my adopted wrestling father of the Don Callis family, Don Callis himself, I should say. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but Simon must have been right once again for the 50,000th time because Action Andretti kicks out at 2.7. That move probably will never work until somebody finally uses it as their finisher. And that's easy said than done. Like, and they can manage to put away their opponents with that maneuver for good. But until then, it's going to be known as the least most devastating move in professional wrestling. But it's where then we got but it's where we got Konosuke Takeshita that ran right to the bottom left side. It's where we try to charge, try to hit a running attack move. He did not know hit in particular. That was a mistake right there for the Alpha because Action Andretti rolled out of the way, dodges before he could even think of anything. Just where he tried to run and try to hit a move of his own, but he did not know to hit on his own, so he also made a mistake. Like, and he gets elbowed right to the face by Takeshita. This is where then we got Action Andretti hits an Insagiri. This is where then he went right to the upper right side. This is where he jumps right back up. This is where then he goes for a Hurricane Rana, like a little Frankensteiner, like a Hurricane Rana. That's where then that Layla Gray was liking every single moment of this. She's like, yeah, in your face. Like in her face, Konosuke and Don Cal while smiling right on the camera. That's where then she was forearm strike by that's where then we got then he gets forearm strike by Action Andretti when he's trying to go for a springboard crossbody. He gets hit with that big the bicycle knee strike, which is his finisher, and that's where he was about to get a 3. But it's where Aubrey Edwards was ready to put the ball, the fist up, and try to pat the mat for a 3. But before it's right at halfway at 2.5, this is where we got Konosuke's like, nope, not just yet, and he whipped him right up, pulling the Braun Strowman onto Action Andretti. This is where then he hits that Falcon Arrow maneuver to get the win, that spinning Falcon Arrow to be exact, to get the 1, 2, 3. And then this is where we got Leo Rush and Layla Gray was very disappointed that their teammate, what the Action Andretti did not get the W or dub, I should say. But let me know in the comment section right down below. This is where they start hyping up about AEW Collision tomorrow night with Don Cal celebrating with his client and his family member, I guess you could say, which is the Alpha Konosuke Takeshi, which they were talking about the likes of which we were talking about Serena Deeb taking on, what's his name? Yakazaki, I believe. And then we also have FTR versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. And we also got Robin Renegade taking on Queen Aminata. We also have, who else is going to be fighting? Like with them continuing like to be like making their shows like Collision-ish, like 3 times in a row on their post show after AEW All Out. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of matches going to be on the card tomorrow night. So make sure to not miss any of the action of AEW Collision. And I want to ask you this curious question: do you think that FTR and versus the Grizzly Young Veterans should main event Collision? I sure hope they do. Like, to be honest, like I sure hope that they do main event tomorrow night's event. Like, on the simple fact that it's a heated rivalry that they're like in main event level when it comes to the tag team division. But we're going to figure all that out in the next 24 hours from now, if not less. But I'm glad I get to do this video, and I hope y'all enjoy it. And if I had to rank this today's video, I would give it, for being like mediocrely entertaining, like I hope I don't make some viewers mad. I'm gonna have to give it the 3.5-star show. Nothing too special, not like in the top 10 list, but something that was pretty good, like something that you want it to be, like, and not like somewhere worse, like in like 0.5 star or even 2 stars or 2.5 stars. But yeah, again, let me know down in the comment section right down below how would you rank AEW Rampage. Not for those that watched the show, but I hope y'all enjoyed this video along with SmackDown, and there'll be plenty more where this came from. There's plenty more WWE and NFL review videos where this come from, like with Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, and also Thursday night and Sunday night football in the near future. So make sure to stay tuned and watch more wrestling and football content as soon as possible. But I hope hope you're enjoying yourself tonight. And if so, please make sure to big thumbs up and consider it to subscribe and the post notification bell. And make sure to check out my wrestling news video where I'm gonna be talking about T Wilder's wrestling intriguing news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Ringside News article. And also make sure to check out my AEW Collision review, where I'm gonna be talking about matches like FTR, Grizzly Gun Veteran, and more. But I hope you guys enjoy yourselves while watching these two videos, and I hope I was a key figure of y'all having a great night. Like, well, not too much of a primary, but in general, like, with y'all already having a good night. But or maybe even if y'all, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if y'all having a bad night and I'm making y'all feel better, I would be very happy to hear that as well. Like, I always try to put people in a better mood rather than the worst mood. Like, that's my nature. Like I always try to be the friendly guy that try to give everybody a positive, a better and positive day, and not try to cause any trouble. Like, I'm more likely that kind of a person. But I try to be like when it comes to the public. But yeah. Anyways, like, I hope you guys having a safe and fun rest of your Friday night, and I'll see you guys on the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye-bye, my assassinators. Y'all take care and have a Super Ninja awesome night. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow with some more videos. Bye-bye.